Eric's a winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
God damn it, Manchester United, you're better than that. I mean, who else could say it like rock? You got it, rock.
How we doing? I tell you what, Manchester United fans have taken lots of hits over the last decade. We took a big one today. United go out with a whimper 1-0 against Bayern Munich. Woo! There's some players in that 11 I would take. We huffed, we puffed. We were okay off the ball. We were terrible on the ball. And United mustered one shot on target, and we crash out of the Champions League of Europe altogether. No Hans and Franz. At this point, this season's a write-off. Yeah, call it a day. I mean, American Devils, we ain't going nowhere.
What is this guy talking about?
What, season's not a write-off?
It's not a write-off.
Oh, you got a lot to play for? What, come on, give me your hopeful time.
Did you just hear what Rock said?
So you're saying we're going to go into Anfield.
Did you just hear what Rock said?
We're going to go into Anfield and show them what's good. I never say it die. Manchester United, we never say
you
die.
just
I'm saying
gave
emotionally, I'm get the fuck out of here, Mr. I disconnected from this team. Today I went in expecting to lose. This Sunday I'm going in expecting to lose. I think that helps these days.
I didn't expect to lose this game.
I expected to lose this game.
I did not. I did not.
Fielded a full-strength Bayern. We had two big injuries during the game.
Still, I think, I thought we were good for a goal. I thought this would be 1-1. Thought we could get the tie. Thought we could get... I was expecting tie, honestly, because Bayern, we just had nothing in attack. Nothing going forward. Nothing about this team. It's a tough time. Look, it's the holiday season. We're hitting rock bottom. It's more about what this European performance says about Manchester United, right? Our worst European campaign ever, 15 goals conceded, last in the group. Some fans are trying to say that's a good thing. I don't know how that is a good thing, because you have to look at a team like Manchester United. And unfortunately, we used to laugh at Arsenal for celebrating top four, but that's what we're trying to do. And we need Champions League football because we need that 100 million, and we need to be able to attract top talent. And when you're in a non-European football year, you ain't signing the top players in the world. Not like we need to. We need to be selling some of them, but it just has that shine. Europe just makes everything a little easier. United, are in financial dire straits. The money does matter. It matters all across the board. And for us, Europa League would have been another chance for Erik ten Hag to kindle some flames, get something going, maybe get into top four another way, make a deep run in a cup competition. Seen that before from the manager. That's gone now. And it's only in the league, and the league is very, very competitive. We're surrounded by Brighton and Newcastle and Tottenham and City even. Aston Villa climbing up the table. So if you're looking at what's the easiest ticket you could get to top four, I know we struggle against Spanish sides in Europe, but maybe that would have been a good way to do it.
Yeah, you want to have as many routes to getting where you want to be as possible. So the performance in Europe this season has been dreadful, like you said, the worst in United's history. But I think the thing that was kind of, United, like I said, we huffed and puffed. We had nothing going forward. I thought we were pretty good off the ball, but whenever we got the ball, we completely tripped over ourselves and created nothing, super disjointed, couldn't put together three passes. But the real thing was just like the chasm. And we see this when we play City or Liverpool. We'll be talking about the same thing on Sunday after we lose to Liverpool. is the chasm between these two clubs. And it's like the players that United was attached to that didn't sign, that are at Bayern Munich, forget Harry Kane alone, what a player he is. But they're starting center backs. We were attracted to both of them, and they're probably one of the best center back pairings in the world, those two. Kim looks like an absolute player. And they have talent coming out of their ears. United, look at that bench. The players, they went out there, they ran around, they couldn't string passes together. But the saddest thing was both Martial and Rashford went down ill the day before. Like that that don't smell right either. So there's a lot going wrong at Manchester United. I think people are going to try and hark on whatever optimism they can. Okay, less things to focus on. The league is it is insane. Every team could beat you, and every team could beat you bad. And we saw that against Bournemouth. So there's no easy routes, bro. At this point, it's just get Ratcliffe in. Let's get some expertise in. Got the squad. Get a new manager in the summer, and on to the next one, bro. And rinse and repeat.
It's not. It's not necessarily write the season off. We're in 6th. Right, we're 6 points off 4th. That's not gone yet. I think, look, you have to take Europe. It's tough. But if you're going to say there was a glass half full scenario, it's only the league now. So the excuse factory, is running out of excuses. I know you got the little elves that working overtime, sir, at the moment.
Putting in a shift over here.
They're putting in shifts.
You're putting in a shift. I had to say you're putting in a shift.
You think Santa's busy at the North Pole?
He only
We got
works
an
1 day a
Amazon
year.
Prime.
He only works 1 day a year, bro. We work 60 days a year.
Amazon Prime delivery. Here's some excuses for you. I'll tell you what, if we're playing once a week and you're getting shit football served up, you're going to have a tough time.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that we can get something going. We haven't seen it yet. Waiting for it. If we can get something going, great. If not, it's going to be a fall. And this fall could be dire. We could be in the 9th to 10th range. We could go down with the Chelseas. Chelsea down in 12th right now. And we've seen Chelsea capitulate big like this before, but United usually, even Rangnick was Europa League. We pipped West Ham, even though we lost on the last day of the season. So United going down to 8th or 9th is very possible if we keep playing the football we're playing, and that is very concerning. Bournemouth just chopping you up. 14th place Bournemouth chopping you up 3-0, and you don't think the drop is coming. So I have a feeling all the doom and gloom is about what could come. I'm not saying it isn't going to come, but it hasn't yet. And so that's the only thing we can cling to, is that everyone thinks we're going to lose big at Anfield. Last year we thought we were going to win big at Anfield. It's only very few times I went to Anfield confident. That was one of them. We lost 7-0. I feel like everyone's written us off. We're going to lose.
We got it right where we wanted them.
That's worth something, because Klopp
dude.
might come out complacent. United might decide to show. You don't know what's going to happen. So
we're going to lose.
I have a feeling whenever everyone believes one thing one way, it usually surprises to the other. So we could see a closer game than most think, but expectations is 5-0. I mean, if you had to look at what the betting lines were, it'd be insane.
The odds are insane. You would have thought it's Bournemouth.
That's why you got to take United to win. That's why
it's 6 times your money, bro. I haven't seen it like that in a long
time.
Should
be higher. Should be more like 8.
6 times your money.
Should be
ridiculous for playing Manchester United versus Liverpool, the two most successful teams.
No, I understand
England.
that, but you should be getting paid a lot to put your money on Manchester.
The fact that they're even doing that, I mean, come on. Anyway, like I said, United almost certainly will lose on the weekend, but. You never say never. Hold on, just let me.
Don't talk like lose. Gonna lose. Don't say that.
Oh, sir, when you say it, it's fine. When I say it,
never said that.
Oh yeah. We all expect to lose this weekend. No Manchester United fan doesn't expect to lose this weekend, but it's about how you lose. Today, 1-0. They did fight. They fight to keep it 1-0 because if we played poorly, we would have lost 4-5-0 because that Bayern team is very talented. Don't believe what anybody tells you. And this Liverpool team, they're top of the table. So we've got a hell of a game coming up. But this is the response. Is it? It's always darkest for the dawn, or is it always darkest before it's pitch black? Because Liverpool smack, that's when things get real dark for the team, for the manager. It's already getting pretty dark for the team and the manager, but it can get a lot worse for United fans and everybody in this bunker at the moment.
Quick PSA for the podcast. If that intro didn't cheer you up, you got to support the American Red Devils and the Muppet Take. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/. American Red Devils. Tons of behind the scenes benefits, extra podcasts every single month. We do a Patreon mailbag. Please check it out. We don't have any commercial sponsors. We're going the Patreon route. And I got to give a big shout out to Yeetus My Meetus, our Patreon supporter, our new Patreon supporter. If you want to sign up with a funny name, have us read it out, please do so. We'll mispronounce your name and whatever you want here if you sign up for Patreon. Really appreciate everyone. Hope everyone's having a great holiday. Also check out AmericanRedDevils.store. Scarves, stickers, shirts, you name it. Also AmericanRedDevils.com for all your fan blog materials, sir. They have some good ones and excuses of a Manchester United fan. The Excuse Factory even cranking out blog articles. Please check it out. Also, sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Red Devils wherever you listen is a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found by other top fans like yourself, and even better, we're giving away free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship free ARD scarf. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great 5-star review from Red Devil 7. Love your show. I really like your show. You keep us updated on all things United and lots of stuff I haven't heard in other Manchester United podcasts with the Sir Jim stuff. I appreciate it and keep up the hard work. Thank you, Red Devil 7. Play the music one last time, sir. It's going to be a while.
Sir, it's the final Champions League theme in a long time. Look, if you came into the podcast bunker, you'd see a few things. You'd see 2 photos, 2008, Manchester United lifted the Champions League title. You see 1999, Manchester United lifted the Champions League title. You also see a brochure of the 1968 European Cup final where Manchester United, Sir Bobby Charlton, Matt Busby, George Best lift the European trophy for the first time. First English team to do it, by the way, 10 years after the Munich air disaster. You look at the Wayne Rooney autograph kit with the Champions League badge on the shoulder. Europe means so much to this team's history. Can't say it enough. Also, I got a scarf from the 2008 Champions League final. Sir, why do we love Europe so much, and why are we watching a nightmare? It's been a decade of nightmares in Europe. Tough times.
It's been more than, it's been,
tough times.
Let's be honest. It's been more than a decade of tough times. Manchester United, obviously, you went through the history, sir. 68, 99, 2008. As famous as finals as you could think of, this storied club. But at the same time, we haven't probably been competitive in Europe in 15 years, to be honest with yourself. What, that 11 final? Okay, finish it. Let's go. Play it.
Just like that?
Yeah, you're not gonna hear that for a while. Maybe Hans and Franz next year, but not that. I can tell you one thing for sure. Yeah, United. We love Europe. We love European nights.
Love it.
We do. I love midweek games. Something about it, like the club, people at Old Trafford, they knew this was the end
Italian
of this season
teams
because we were quiet. That's as quiet as I've heard Old Trafford in a long time. And I think the fans know they're not stupid. They go to a lot of games. A lot of them go all the games, and they know how poor of a team this is and how much The odds are stacked against us. Even if we did win today, if we won 4-0, we still were going to Europa League. So we did not win 4-0. Let's talk about that 11.
No, of course, but it's just highlighting how important Europe is to this club. As we kind of sunset on another, the worst Champions League European campaign ever in our club's history, we should also say that it is so important, this competition for United, and it's something that we should be in every single year. We should be trying to win it, and to be the butt of the joke, the worst campaign ever in a group of Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray, a guaranteed easy group. We came in fourth, had nothing doing, and it was a whimper at home against Bayern. Obviously a good team, but I just felt like we would just have more fight. We needed it more. It was must win. But sir, it's just that type of vibe. Tough taste in my mouth for this one. Let's get in that starting 11. We had Onana in net. Some might blame him for a few issues.
He's the reason. Come on, let's be honest. Onana's the reason we're not going out of the group at the end of the day. Like, he was, bar none, and I'll eat crow, bro. He was terrible across these 6 games. Today was probably his best game in the Champions League group stage. And if you switched out Andre Onana for even 2022 David De Gea, we make it out of the group.
Yes.
All day, bro. Because we scored goals in Bayern, we scored goals in Copenhagen, we scored goals in Turkey, and he had probably, 5 errors? So at the end of the day, the reason, and that's on the manager, that's on him, that's on Onana as well for playing like shit, is because of Andre Onana. And you know what? He's our goalie, so we're behind Onana, but he is solely the reason that we are crashing out of Europe and having the worst campaign, because I have never seen a goalie perform so badly over those first 5 games of the group stage.
I would say the hammer fist, the ball into the net was the highlight for sure.
Highlight or low light?
It was the highlight of the low lights. Luke Shaw, left back.
Which one? Which hammer fist? I want to know. I gotta look it up.
It was the free kick when he slapped at the ball. It wasn't even going in, and he put it in the net. Luke Shaw, Varane, Maguire, Delot, McTominay, Amrabat, Fernandez, Garnacho, Højlund, Antony lineup. I felt like this kind of picked itself. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, look at that bench, man. We don't have many options available because there's so many injuries, and some players just all of a sudden found themselves ill, suspiciously ill the night before. I don't buy that for a second. Varane. I mean, that was the one thing. Yeah, play me some fucking, I don't even know the name of that show. I never watched it. I know the song.
What's I didn't even understand what you were saying. Like, do you think that they aren't sick? And
no, I do not think they're sick. Yes, I think they're faking it. You've done this before on the pod. You've talked about.
I said I'm reading the tea leaves. Yeah, maybe something's going on.
I'm gonna pull a John. I'm reading the tea leaves. Yes, I think they're bluffing. I don't think they're sick for the night before the Champions League game against Bayern Munich at home.
It's flu season.
It is flu season.
Colds are going around. So
you buy it.
I buy
both of them at the same time.
You buy Varane and the manager weren't in a row. So, I mean,
now I buy that they're in a row because he came on today and looked pretty good.
Look, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a good defender who hasn't been playing.
And when I saw the 11 without him, I lost my mind. When there was a leaked 11 that was fake and was wrong, and Varane was not in it. Shaw was the center back. Reguilón was the left back, and I lost my shit because if he's that stubborn, then we are doomed, and we probably are doomed anyway. But thankfully, he put Varane in. Everyone else, like you said, picks himself. Maybe Kobe, but that's a big ask for Kobe.
I don't mind Manu coming in, switching it. The McTominay one, it's
not working.
It's just the midfield's too wide open, and you're playing Bayern Munich. This kind of was like time to switch up the midfield role, go with the pivot. He plays the McTominay thing. Obviously, it didn't really help us. It was kind of like, this is the stubborn, don't change it up, play the same way. And we're probably going to see this against the Scouse Bastards. Jumping into the game, Bayern, they had the class. 27th minute, Sané just running through the midfield. I have to comment on Amrabat. He is getting cooked from a pace perspective. Like, you can pull it off in Italy, but not at the top level. When you see a midfielder like that get dusted, I've never seen Fred get run by like that. He might make a rash challenge. You need elite midfielders, and if you don't have the pace, you can't play in the midfield at Manchester United.
No, you're right about that. And this is an elite team.
It's multiple times.
I think it's him. I think he needs a double pivot, right? I think he's kind of being asked to do a lot in that sole 6 position. McTominay obviously trying to get forward, trying to get goals, but he did look exposed many times in this 90 minutes. So I'm not excusing anybody today. It's full guns blazing, baby. Let's rock and roll.
32nd, Sane almost with the goal at the far post, but got his touch wrong. And then Magoo goes down, 40th minute, sub. Evans on for the injured Maguire. Look, first half going in, United didn't concede. Not a lot doing for Bayern. They were getting some dangerous areas, but I felt like United, it was time to sort of push forward, go for the match here. How are you feeling after the first half?
I mean, I think we did show a decent amount of fight. I think we were good off the ball. We were open at times, but like we did limit their chances given how good they are. But like you said, when we got the ball, we were dreadful. We looked completely disjointed. They were bodying Højlund. He got the shit bodied out of him by those two center backs just taking turns on our Dane. But we were in it. I mean, we didn't concede. We were still in the game. You just need one goal. But Magoo going down and then Shaw going down right after. I mean, that's a gut punch given all the injuries we've had. And given Maguire's been playing good football and we know how important Shaw is. And another injury for Shaw is very worrisome.
AWB came on after the second half for Luke Shaw, 49th minute. Great chance for Bruno. This opened nicely to him at the top of the box. Has to be on target. He blasts it over. And then in the 71st minute, sir, cut open.
Almost kept it alive. Goretzka, Muller's there. Kane. And here's a great chance now for Sané to finish it. It's a wonderful goal. Tucked away by Kingsley Coman. The man whose goal won the Champions League for Bayern Munich against Thomas Tuchel's Paris Saint-Germain back in 2020. Gives Bayern Munich the lead.
All right, there you go. They got the goal. How would we react? Would we push forward here? Our life is on the line. 73rd minute, Delo found one-on-one with the keeper, but a heavy touch. Double sub in the 74th, Facundo and Hannibal on for Garnacho and Antony. I think Antony has 1 assist in his last 25 matches, 0 goals. Again, that's 85 million for that. Obviously have a little more pep in his step, but no results. And when you're playing, he was doing the twinkle toes and then lost the ball. It's like that type of stuff is just, that's our attack. Yeah. You saw Garnacho bombing forward, not thinking about Højlund. It's so...
That the low cutback from last game, right? That everyone talks about.
Nobody... It's so disjointed. It's like we have selfish children who don't know how to play. We don't play as a team.
No, we don't.
79th minute, Manu on for Varane. Give the kid some minutes in Europe. And 83rd, Kane goes just wide from a corner. But look, I felt Bayern were more dangerous on the ball. They were stretching the width way more. They were way more organized. You could see just the patterns of play, how they would get in dangerous areas, what they were looking for, as well as how they would find the overload and then work their ass off to get back in shape, not have any vulnerabilities for United on the counter. And that is a sign of an elite European club. I think there's levels to this game, and we are not on the level. We're not on the level from a player talent perspective. If you look at that 11, that doesn't look like Delo, not doing it. Magoo,
Antony,
not doing it. Antony, Garnacho.
Højlund starting for fucking Bayern Munich. Amrabat, McTominay.
Amrabat, McTominay ain't doing it. Garnacho, is he the starter week in, week out?
No.
Is Højlund the starter week in, week out?
No.
Exactly. We don't have those players. And then you look at the manager, outclassed. Manager didn't get it right, couldn't make the adjustment. Got nothing in the attack. We needed a goal. I felt like the impetus wasn't there.
That bench is damning.
And regardless, it's just United out of Europe, worst European campaign in history. I think that says it all. The XG doesn't look pretty either. 0.27 to United, 1.4 to Bayern Munich. They had 10 shots. We had 5 on target, 3-1, 60% of the ball in our house. This was at home. Have to remind you. This is at Old Trafford, must win. Bayern nothing to play for, and we look like we didn't want it. I mean, it was just it's outclassed.
That's it, man. That's it. We could have played. I know we could have been better, way better on the ball, but even still, it's like the chasm between the two teams in all the areas you talked about: personnel, coaching,
also
structure.
We saw more fight in Turkey. We saw more fight from the lads in Turkey. I just didn't feel it.
They're a good team. I mean, that was a very good Bayern team, bro. They muscled us off every ball. They did fight harder than us, but they're just like, look at the quality of the 11. I don't think we have a single player that gets to their team. Maybe Bruno, but like otherwise, there's nobody making it into that Bayern 11, and they had players out. So
one shot on target.
No, it's terrible.
One in a must-win game. I mean, like, show me something. We got to do better than that. You know, I really do feel like we should have played better, even with saying the golfing class. But a lot of that, I just think, is just how Bayern Munich ticks, how they play together, what they just know where the players are going to be. I feel like United are just so disjointed. Every single thing we do, that's why we're wide open. That's why we're just like, we're like Bambi on ice out there. And Bayern Munich are cool, composed. They'll pick you off. And Harry Kane has a better shot to win the Champions League than we do. Let's look at the table. Bayern 16 points, Copenhagen 8. They're going through. I don't need to tell you about that game away in Copenhagen. Don't need to revisit that one. Galatasaray go into Europa League with 5 points and Manchester United with 4. Our worst European campaign before this was 6.
How many times do you say it? I know it. I watched every game. It's horrible.
Goal differential.
Horrible. But it's on, like I said, the team, there's a lot of blame to go around. The most blame to go around is our goalie. It pains me to say it, but he was atrocious in these first 5 of the 6 games. So that's why United's crashing out. We scored 15 goals. No, excuse me, 12 goals, conceded 15, negative 3 goal differential. But hey, you lose as a team, you win as a team. And United did not show the consistency, the fight, and the level of talent you need over 90 minutes 6 times to make it through, and that's that. And, you know, out we go.
We have twitched our ass on the bench.
All right, sir, jumping into the...
Do you understand what I mean? Because I still don't understand what that means.
Do you understand what I mean?
What does that mean?
With the tactical teardown. It's all about the control of the midfield. United's approach to the midfield play with a field tilt of 42.9% reflected a reactive stance, often allowing Bayern to dictate the tempo. United's midfield is outplayed in terms of ball progression and defensive engagements, failing to break the rhythm of Bayern's passing sequences, which averaged 22 compared to United's 13, sir. They were just tic-tac all over the park at Old Trafford, and that is a big reason why we lost. As far as Devils in the data, our XG ain't no good. Our X threat was 0.81 to compare to Bayern's 1.17. We couldn't create anything. We did win the ball. The high turnovers for United was 6 compared to Bayern Munich's 1, and we'd had like pretty much no X threat or XG created off of that. Miserable from United. We did get in some dangerous places. We did win the ball up high, and nothing to do with it. I kind of felt the pressing triggers were off. A player might go and make a Bayern Munich player make an error high up, but then the other players didn't go. Everything with the press, with the attack, it's just off at United, and we're just seeing us just struggle at the moment.
No, usually we come out, we batted everything. I mean, like we were okay, especially in the first half. We were pretty good, all things considered, considering how much better of a team we were playing off the ball. But on the ball, we were so atrocious. Gave it away. Didn't know where to run. Didn't know when to pass. Would lose the ball in the corners. They also they outmuscled us. They were far more physical than we were, and we got played off the park. Simple as that.
What do we know? Let's check in with the manager, Erik ten Hag.
Eric, the European campaign is over for Manchester United. When the draw was made for this group, it's fair to say this didn't look like a group that would be hard for Manchester United to get out of. How do you think the campaign got away from you?
We didn't lose it today. That's clear. And I think we had some good performances, but then also we made mistakes, some individual errors from more players. Yeah, and in the end it's not good enough. But I think today the performance was, again, very good. And we didn't deserve to lose, but we lost the game.
As you say, it wasn't just lost today, but you did still have a chance going into this final game. And in the end, in a game where you had to win, it was just 5 shots and 1 on target. Why do you think that was? Do you feel like the players showed enough effort and conviction out there?
Oh, absolutely. I think the team did very good. I think we were very good in the defending organization. We were very good in the pressing. We had many ball occasions of ball regains, especially second half. But then we take enough benefit from it. That's also the truth. We have to see that, but also you play against a strong side, and we have to see that as well. Bayern is a good team, and they have, but as I said before, they have always. Even when they are not in the game, they have individual class. Had to use one moment, and unfortunately, that happened.
Cut it, bro.
Throwing away leads seemed to be
Okay. First of all, whoever's giving the interview is like, who the hell is she?
He's like, class, something.
He's, bro, you know where he is. You know where we are. We've seen this a million fucking times.
You can't say we deserve to win that game. That's crazy.
It doesn't matter what he says.
He says we
It
deserve
doesn't
to
matter.
win it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what
you
the
gotta
manager
say,
says
hey.
after a game.
Hey, go to manager school.
He did
Hey.
say we lost this. We didn't lose because of today. We got knocked out because that's true.
Go to manager school. Hey,
Go to manager school. Where's
gotta
manager school?
respect it. Gotta respect Bayern. Gotta respect what they do. They won the group for a reason. They were the better team tonight. We gotta get better.
So
we
go get
have
your coaching
on
badges. Go
the
get your
onto
coaching-
the
go get-
Scouts
go
bastards.
get your coaching badges.
Like that's I just don't like to deny. I don't like to deny reality. Like we got outclassed today. It was 2 levels, and we were not on it.
You're trying
And
to
it's
keep your
like,
players with a little bit of confidence headed into the goddamn Lions den that is Anfield, playing like shit when they're at the top of the table. It's like, I understand.
You got to hit the target more than once to win. By the way,
Of course you do.
You hit the target once.
Actually, you don't have to hit the target more than once to win, bro. You can literally hit the target 0 times and win if you score an own goal, or you hit it once and it goes in. And actually, like, you can totally win with 1 shot on target. But we weren't good enough, nearly good enough, and most importantly, we lost this 5 games ago. Like, we lost it over the previous 5
so
games.
is the excuse factory cranking for the manager or what?
I'm not cranking for nobody, bro. I don't work for nobody. Alex is on fucking vacation for the rest of December and probably through May.
The factory just got
No,
going.
I'm not making excuses.
All-time high. These numbers are just like very impressive. Q4 is shaping up to be big for the excuse factory, sir.
I don't hear any excuses coming out of my mouth. You're just like laughing at the guy and like criticizing the interview.
It's
like
funny
it fucking
how
matters.
he has to answer the
Well, the interview
questions.
doesn't matter. Interviews don't matter.
I know they
at
don't,
all.
but
It's like you have some.
What do you say? Yada yada class.
Who gives a
Yada
shit?
yada.
Yeah, bye. Well, you should do it. You should do it muted and basically just look at his facial expressions,
No,
and then
it's
we can
just
react.
hearing. It's maybe it's not funny, but it's just funny to hear him kind of. He's
you've
just
lost
like
it.
he has no idea what he's saying. He's just like, yeah, whatever. We were great. With this class.
I hope Leipzig's hiring.
Like, look, that L is in the books, or I think we
On to the next L.
Champions
On to the
League's
next L. Let's
over.
go. What's the next L?
Europe's over. And then what's funny is like I just wasn't thinking about Anfield until I saw the podcast lineup here, and then oh man, this is one that it's a tough one here.
This makes me feel like that's a fight left. Come on, Rock. Come on. How many punches can we take? How many losses you got? A lot. How many goals you conceded? A lot. So, how many more you got?
Here we go. We're going to Anfield, aka the
A
shitbox.
lot of L's on that board, baby.
Have you not had enough pain this season? December 17th, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We've won 90. We've drawn 68. We've lost 81 to the Scouse Bastard. They're catching up on everything. 1894, we lost Newton Heath to the Scouse Bastards. Test match 2-0. Last 5. Don't worry, we've only lost 4 of them. We've won 1. Last time we went to the shitbox, 7-0, sir. I actually thought we scored a goal in that game because I couldn't believe it was 7-0, but that is the way it is. Don't
4-0
like
the
them.
time before that. It was 5-0. I mean, we're used to getting blown out by Liverpool, so this ain't new. In the recent memory, they've had our number, bro. They're a much better side than we are.
They're on a run. They beat Brentford 3-0. Drew is shitty. That was a tough game. Beat Last 4-0. They're in the Europa League. LOL. At least we can enjoy that. Fulham 4-3. Sheffield United 2-0. Crystal Palace 2-1.
At the death.
They're climbing up the table.
They're at the top.
They're going to take They're trying to knock on the door and take number 20 from us, sir. I would imagine all the things that we hold dear to our hearts. The treble, 20 times. It's all going to be gone before we see the promised land. And it's shaping up like that. You know the Scouts Bastards. They're our neighbors. We do not like them. Big rivalry. United have the 20 league titles, and Liverpool have the 6 European championships, sir. Manchester United lead in terms of total trophies won with 66 to Liverpool 64. We are the most successful team in all of England, sir. But it looks to be fading fast.
What they got in that 11?
Played the 4-3-3. A lot of bluffers here. Allison, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah, sir. Luis Diaz is back. He's pretty good. Regardless, they got the German Jurgen Klopp, the crazy teeth. On the touchline, it's a tough place to go play. It's one where the definition of a team that has grit and mentality would be able to go away and put up a performance against Liverpool at Anfield, and we are just miles away from that. And so it's a worry. But it's a worry, and part of that worry is because
look at that list.
Who's going to play?
Honestly.
Malacia, Casemiro, Martinez, Eriksson. Bruno suspended. Mason Mount, he's injured. Lindelof, Sancho, Ahmad, obviously Luke Shaw, Maguire.
Shaw's gone for weeks. Like, he's probably gone.
Rashford is sick. And Martial's sick. So who is going to even play? The Bruno suspended, that is a tough one. Only because I like to see him kind of, not whinge. I like to see him actually put on a improved display from a temperament perspective and kind of make up for last season. I feel like Bruno kind of, it would be nice for him to play and actually put in a great shift to make up for that 7-0.
Yes, because it's all on Bruno.
He did yell at the ref, and he did lose his cool.
So what?
That was
he's the only player that he's the best player on our team, and he runs all day.
You don't think he can improve as a captain by not doing that? That's all I was suggesting.
Have we had a good captain since Wayne Rooney? No,
that's not like an attack on Bruno. I was saying I want to see him actually improve in those spots. That's like a good thing. I want him to come out.
He's the only player that seems to get blamed no matter how we play. If we're good, he gets blamed. If we're bad, he get blamed. He's not even going to play, and he's going to get blamed. So he deserves blame.
He's the captain of Manchester
United. I understand
United.
that, sure.
The captain of Manchester United is put on a different level, just like Harry Maguire.
He wasn't the captain last year, bro.
No, I know. He wore the armband.
Well, he's not the captain officially.
No, of course, but he was wearing the captain's armband on the field. And he, kind of lost it a little bit. We saw him lose it, and that's why he's not playing. So that theme, that's not captain material. So it's like, if he wasn't the captain, you wouldn't be saying that, right? It's a criticism of a captain, only of a captain.
They still be saying
No, because when
gets a lot of
you
flack.
had people getting heated all the time. Wayne Rooney wasn't the captain when he was kind of mouthing off or losing it, right? You have loose cannons in a locker room, but the captain usually isn't one of them. So given the injuries, the whinging, the captain material, who's your 11?
The best thing is I set this 11 before the game, and a bunch of these players got injured, so I'm going to have to retool it live, baby. Onana, AWB, Varane, Evans, Shaw's out, so I'm going to do, I guess, the low Reguilón. I'm going to do a three at the back, so an extra fullback there, and then I'm going to do Mainu, Amrabat, McTominay, Garnacho, Højlund. Who you got?
The manager probably not going 3 at the back. I got Onana in net, AWB, Varane, Evans. You're going to see probably Delo. And then in the midfield, you're going to see McTominay, Amrabat. You're going to see Mainu, and Rashford, Højlund, and Antony. That's what I think you're going to get because, Garnacho needs a blow. And who needs to survive that?
Here comes the money, money, money.
Ooh. Want to make some money this weekend, sir? I'd be betting
Dollar.
Liverpool. Minus 270, heavy favorites. I haven't seen a line like this in a long time. Since last time we played Liverpool. Draw plus 440. That's cheeky. Plus 600 for United. That's even cheekier. What are you thinking? Given the odds, what is your score prediction?
I think we're going to tie. Liverpool away. I think it's just anytime you're in the situation where the odds are so against you, you should be taking that draw plus 440 or even sprinkling some on the win because it's just so out of left field. I feel like expectations of everyone is this is going to be 7-0. And like I said, you remember the 7-0 game, we thought we were going to win that one. So give me a little draw 1-1, scrappy result. Manchester United finally show up. We showed up last year against Liverpool for the first time, and that got things going. We're going to show up against Liverpool this time. It's going to get things going because if it doesn't, oh no.
Oh, no, indeed. I'm taking the opposite. We're going to get annihilated 5-0, played off the park. They'll have more goals than we have shots all day. And the doom train will just continue, sir. That's what we're in for this season.
It will tell you a lot if the manager plays exactly the same way as he's played every game this year, right? If we just
4-3-3 like a madman, no,
Just
like pack that shit in, bro.
no, if we don't have, and that's one thing about Sir Alex Ferguson is you're gonna go away, you gotta play tight, play for the draw, and then you win at home, and then you're up, and that's how he thought about he managed the big games in the EPL so well because that's what he thought, and he tried to get away with certain ones in certain spots, but man, he really managed it well, and he would never go away to Anfield and disrespect what that fixture or what that would look like in the first 15 minutes or how it would feel.
Yep.
And I feel like Erik ten Hag is just a little stubborn.
You think? I think it also might be the Ajax effect, right? He's so used to playing at Ajax where you could just basically, there's one other good team. You could dominate everybody. You can play toe-to-toe with everybody. And the problem with this guy, he's stubborn as shit. We know that. But he's got one speed. He can never just play defensively, pack it in, play counter. It's no, he's got to play his way. He's got to push everybody forward. And then what happens when it doesn't pull off is you get blown out in the back. We got blown out last year. We've gotten blown out numerous times this year. And you said it a couple pods ago, bro. The only way this guy's going to survive is if he's willing to be a little bit flexible. And so far, he hasn't. And
He
that's
was
going to be
more
his
flexible
demise.
last year.
He was
more
and he
flexible.
did a lot better last year.
And when he changed things,
Remember? And he was stubborn in those early games. Then he switched things up, and then we started getting success. And he hasn't had that breakthrough yet. And, bro, you're running out of time. You better hurry up.
I mean, it is that we hired him for a certain reason, and when he got to Manchester United, it was that. It was he was trying new things. We saw the Barcelona game. Oh my God. We played Barcelona and we're this is Erik ten Hag.
We dominated him.
This is what it looks like. It was everyone putting it on the line. I remember the players like Varane, Shift, getting end to end, unbelievable. That was the football he played with at Ajax. That's what we wanted to see. And then this year, it's been not that 24/7, 365. Not gonna change it. Scott McTominay or bust, and we're back to and that's just kind of what I don't understand about it. I just, that's to me, it isn't about the last place in Europe. People might rail the manager for that. It isn't the sixth place. Hey, we're doing all right there. It is how bad we look and how there's no style in sight. It's not coming through for 15 minutes. There's nothing. We signed the goalkeeper that we thought was going to do all the things De Gea couldn't. We don't see that happening at all. And it's the shit football that will kill you. It's shit football that will absolutely kill you as a manager. That, to me, that's it. You can say, if we were playing better or we had different patterns of play and you could see what he was working on, it would be more exciting even if we were in 8th place than what we're seeing right now. We are just literally walking to a buzzsaw.
Yeah, I think it's not even the lack of wins that gets you. It's the type of losses that you suffer through. And we've suffered through some especially excruciating losses under this manager this season alone. And, part of that is playing McTominay is we've had a shit ton of injuries in the middle of the park, but it's not about even players and personnel. It's also about formation. And I think he has to switch it up and realize that a draw would be a great result and a tight loss would be a decent result. You can't go out and get annihilated. And I have a feeling we're going to get just annihilated.
Well, if we play like we have so far, it's
will
going to
get
be
annihilated.
interesting. All right, let's get into the news. Richard Arnold's time as Manchester United CEO officially ends, sir. This is the nail in the coffin. Thanks for coming out, Richard Arnold.
What a CEO. I hardly knew you.
You screwed the place up more than I thought you could. That's about it. It's just
saying
it's
something.
like literally him
Sweating.
But just remember all the people on the socials that were bigging up him and who's the other guy? Murtaugh. Like they were like, oh, they're in Barca, they're gonna get Frank. Oh, they wouldn't be there if they weren't gonna sign him. Like lo and behold, like that was really tough for the fan base to take because they were like, why are we
Murtaugh masterclass? Like, how many times did you read that, bro?
Like,
Jesus.
what are you talking? And I kept tweeting, he lost the Holland deal because he messed up the time zone, and he's like a European director of football. Like time zones, knowing how time zones work is a requirement of that job.
And Google it.
Or hiring, or hiring someone to figure it out for you is a requirement of that job. Requirement of that job, nonetheless.
Hire a Norwegian guy. Be like, what time is it in Norway right now?
But I'm glad he's gone, and the big part of this story is who's coming in. We're hearing it's coming down the line soon. It's soon. It should close. Jean-Claude. And then I think that is going to be the positive news is how we clean up this mess. We have the guys to do it, turn it into a serious operation. Next bit of news here. This is an article you don't even need to see unless it's Manchester United because apparently we're not activating Anthony Martial's contract option, which some might say, why is this even a story? Because of course we're not activating his contract option, but I think part of this is Arnold leaving. Richard Arnold would want to re-up it because, again, don't have any money to go buy anyone. This guy, I mean, Tony Martial, the fact you couldn't sell him, the loan to Sevilla was...
That was it.
You
You have to buy out his contract at that point. Because the fact is, like you said, if Ratcliffe wasn't coming in and if he wasn't cleaning house, they would all day. He's only 28. They would be extending his contract all. He plays like a 35-year-old the way he runs around the pitch. There's no way he shouldn't have been here for the last 3 years. So I wish it turned out differently. Martial, we had huge hope for you. You had such an exciting debut. You had some real moments, but at the end of the day, made of glass. And I think you showed a lot of lack of graft over these last 3-4 years. So, hey, it's on us for giving you 250,000 pounds a week. So, see you next time.
Next bit of news here from David Ornstein. The Premier League, they voted today in favor of limiting new contracts to a maximum of 5 years. Means deals cannot be longer to help FFP/amortization. Previously, no cap, but PL now in line with UEFA rules. Will not be backdated, so Chelsea won't get in trouble, but they did a lot of 10-year deals to get the overall contract value over a longer period of time that help with FFP and amortization, sir. So I think this is a good move. I think Chelsea was gaming the system. Todd Bowley, don't like him, but he isn't a Russian crook. And he's American private equity, hack all the rules in his favor. Let's see how these deals perform, though, at the end of the day.
This is like, I'm not a baseball guy. I'm an EFL, EPL devotee. There was that deal with the Japanese player that just went to LA, right? Where they have he got like a $700 million contract, and he's getting $2 million a year for the first 10 years, and then everything else is deferred. That was a bunch of financial fair play, basically, so they can buy more players while he is playing. I think Chelsea thought they got away with one. I think these rules make sense. I think 5 years seems like a reasonable amount of time. Chelsea, I think they were playing the whole we're smarter than everybody because here they are in 12th place. And how many of those players that are on 10-year contracts? Obviously, there's some talent that they did sign, but 10 years is a long fucking time in football. We've been watching 10 years of shit football, and that feels like 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, their club's also taking risk. If the player does well, they, obviously can sell them for a premium because they have them locked up longer. If they go the other way, you're kind of screwed, a la United.
Good point.
Speaking about screwed, next article here, Getafe stand to profit from a 20% sell-on clause inserted in a Mason Greenwood's loan deal if a Manchester United striker is sold elsewhere. Apparently, he's being linked, and obviously we negotiated a bad deal here. But I thought we were going to cancel his contract. I have no idea why we still have ownership ties to Mason Greenwood, because if you read the Richard Arnold statement, it's kind of weird. He'll never play for United, but then we're loaning him out and have financial interest in this player, which is just generally bizarre and contradictory to what we said.
And we should have bought him out in the first place and just sent him on his way. But this is like such an Arnold Murtaugh Fletcher deal. Like the fact that you loaned a player out, you're paying all of his wages, and then if and when you do sell him, they also get a cut of the earnings is like, it is absolutely fucking insane. And it's just a testament to just how poorly run this club has been. Like, forget the who Mason Greenwood is and everything that happened around Mason Greenwood. Like, that deal itself is insane that we would pay his wages and they would also get a piece of the action if we do sign him. That is crazy.
Sounds like par for the course for Manchester United to me, sir. Let's get into fan questions.
That's awesome.
At mhersey5, not a great result, but the boys had a great time. Win or lose will always be a red. At least we've exacted Hans and Franz. He brought the family out to watch the Bayern Munich versus Manchester United game. That is awesome.
Tom Heaton, Luke Shaw, nice photos of the family.
He got some
Great to
pics
see
with
it.
Luke Shaw looking sharp. I mean, sir, we got to get the boys over to
Can't wait.
Manchester.
Hotel football.
And
It's
a
like hotel football to
European
me.
night. In European night. Shout out to at mhersey5.
Well done.
That looks
Well done.
amazing. At JackBorn86. Fellow
Back
dad.
to the hurricane
Hey,
scale.
our boy Jack giving us the hurricane reading. I
Appreciate
look
it.
forward to it every time here. At JackBorn86. Fellow dad here, sirs. Seriously considering not permitting the kids to watch the carnage on Sunday. Want to keep morale up at the house. Cat 4 Hurricane for Ten Hag. Appreciate you guys holding the line. Hashtag Glory Glory Man United. It's Cat 5.
No, it's
We gotta
Cat
be
fi-
honest,
it's Cat 5
Jack.
after we lose. It's Cat 5 after we lose at Anfield.
No, but the Cat 5 is coming. Is what you're forecasting the hurricane. It's
It's
definitely
here. It's hit landfall, bro. It's so windy. It's a Cat 4. The categories are done based on
They
wind
don't.
speed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So it's getting windier. It
hits land, it
It's
goes
really
down.
bad. It's gonna get. I know it.
I don't know much about hurricanes, but they hit land.
have
They
as many
go
on the West
down
Coast.
in the category.
It's speeding up, is what you're saying.
I think that the finality of getting eliminated from Europe and then looking at where if we start rolling down that table, then I think it's Cat.
No, it's the month. This month, it could all fall.
0.1.
It's all falling apart anyway. But this month, it could be a death blow. Fucking Villa, bro. Villa's like
Merry
top 4 Villa,
Christmas.
top 4. The third place. Are you kidding me?
We gotta play him.
Making fun of
We
Unai
gotta
Emery,
play
bro.
him.
You're making fun of Unai Emery, and here
We
he is. He
gotta
got us
go
good in
to
the Europa
Chocula.
League final.
Oh.
He's a good coach. He's a good fucking coach.
Hey, he was not good at Arsenal. He
They
was
didn't give him
not
time.
good.
They didn't give him time.
He was not good. He was
I
not good
wasn't
at
paying
Arsenal.
attention. I don't even remember.
At JDW 300, never a threat to Bayern. They could have fielded a full B team, and I still wouldn't have had that much hope. We had a good stretch for 15 minutes, but managed one shot. So much overhaul needs done. So many players need gone. So many brought in. Top 4 is the only realistic goal. Is that realistic goal right now?
I mean, it's not realistic based on how we're playing and the injuries and how we're playing, but we're 6 points out, and there's more than half the season left. I mean, we have 22 games left in the EPL plus the FA Cup, so it's definitely it's realistic. Whether it's not realistic, it's possible. It's more than possible. Whether it's realistic, I don't see it now because the team is like in a death spiral that I don't really see it fixing unless we all of a sudden get all these players back and we snap out of it. But I think we're gonna just keep dying.
Why are you so positive here?
Dude, the excuse factor. I'm out of business, bro. We ran out of time. We're on strike again. I'm back on strike. Holiday season. Don't come to the ARD bunker for excuses because I'm all out. I'm all out of juice.
At Love the Bulls 18, even though it sucks not playing European football, you have to admit this gives more time for rest, for injured players to come back, and to focus on the league. It does. And everyone always says that, but I don't know if that... In theory, yes, it should help this team. And the travel with Europa League football would be brutal. We've seen that in the past. But,
We've never not had it. This thing is, even when we suck, we always get Europa League. So it's like we actually haven't had a spring where we've had nothing else to worry about.
not getting through the group. We're
No,
getting
it's terrible.
worse.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying
No, it's
we've
like
never seen
over
it
the
before.
last decade. We're getting worse. We used to get out of the group
No,
and
it's
then
'cause
not
everybody
go
else
deep.
we've been this shit
And
forever.
then now we're going.
We've been this shit for 10 years. Just everyone else is getting so much better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the league is like You weren't getting beat by Wigan 10 years ago, but now Bournemouth is like, they're good, bro. They have good players.
They're 14th.
They've won 4 of the last 5 games.
They're 14th.
Of course, but it's still a competitive league where like every team in
They
the league
never
can beat you.
beat us at home, and they beat us at home 3-0. I mean, dominated us. It's not like it is. We're seeing what is like. You are your record. Bournemouth 3-0 at home, like that. I think that one is not appreciated. It's right now. It's just like we're kind of just result to result. I think when we look back, that one will be like, this was a red flag. Like that is a big.
I think we're past the red flag phase. I think we the house is on fire. I see red everywhere because smoke is pouring into the pod room. Are you fucking kidding me? Red flag. This is like the ship is going down. The band is playing. They're moving around furniture, and people are running for goddamn emergency boats. And you're talking about red flags? The flags are gone, brother. They're shooting flares off, looking for the other ship to come find us. This shit is done.
Well, we have the Titanic.
It's sinking.
At Tugford, not a question, but Eric Ten Hag saying we need strong defending today, so he started Varane. So what, we don't need strong defending in the EPL where you can get beat 3-0 at home to teams like Bournemouth? The Varane one doesn't make sense to me. This is like a personal thing with the manager. He's a good defender. He's not playing. He fell out with him about something, and, you know, I got sources in the locker room, said it was really petty. Said the Dutch guy is tough. That's all I know.
I don't disagree. You know, he gets injured all the time, but he's definitely a class defender. He's our second best defender after Martinez. So
Play good today.
We'll see how he plays on Sunday.
We only conceded 1 to Bayern Munich. You know, he looked good. He looked good at ETH ball 0. Sirs Varane looked good. He was out to prove a point. Who are some guys you think we should be moving on in Jan? Players to get rid of.
You can't really sell that many players in January. Like, unless the Saudis get
Sancho.
Frisky, who the fuck's going to want Jadon Sancho, bro?
You could deal him, though. I mean, that's like the type of guy.
Like, with not even an option to buy. It's like nobody wants Jadon Sancho. He's got a terrible attitude. I mean, he's shown that. He had it at City, shaming us for buying it. He had a bad attitude at Dortmund, and he's got a bad attitude at United. I think they're going to try and deal Donny, another shit loan deal, like a loan to nowhere. We're great at these loan to nowhere deals. When we have to just take an L and just like sell Donny Van de Beek for $5 million and move on with your life.
At Mike United Mets, if you told me at the start of the campaign we would lead in 4 out of 6 games and Højlund would be the joint top scorer in the Champions League, I wouldn't have bet on a last place finish. The harsh reality is we were probably better off without Europa for the next 6 to 18 months during the sale. I think we needed Europa League. You look at Ten Hag, you look at where he's dangerous. It's cup competitions, the league, we're all over the board, and it's just getting more competitive. The battle for top 4 for Manchester United could be like not this year, not next year. Like to get into the Champions League, we could be talking about like a multi-year drought because you just look at the strength of the other squads and where they are. It's like we need to do a full rebuild, so it makes sense that we probably wouldn't be really competing at that level. If you look at this team, it's just we needed to completely gut it. And at SSG Grok 17, most of these players just ain't doggone good enough. Split that chest open and get to cutting. It's open heart surgery at Manchester United. I think it's true.
We've been talking about these teams below us for years, for the Villas of the world, and now they're coming good. Like Villa's no joke. I don't think Spurs are anything special, but Liverpool, Chelsea will get better at some point. Eventually, they'll fire Pochettino and figure out someone who knows how to manage. And there are more than 4 spots outside of Manchester United for people looking in the top 4. The league is no joke. It's like people are getting better and better and better, and United just can't like have John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold like twiddling on their thumbs and like buying fucking Anthony for £85 million and you still finish top 4. Like that just don't work.
At the Alex Davis 33, we're going to give you a spicy take here, sir, as we leave. 3-0 loss to Bournemouth, record losses to our rivals, last in a group we should have easily qualified from. Nepotistic disaster signings, Anthony Onana, wasteful spending, Mount, stubborn, unchanging tactics, Ten Hag out. Apologize to De Gea and Mourinho and bring them both back. What do you say?
What do you say? You want Murray? I don't know, bro. Like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
So obviously some people saying get the manager out of here.
We got a lot in there.
There's a lot in there.
Ten Hag, I think you get a new manager at the end of the summer, right? No one's available that's good now anyway. You don't get a bounce. That's bullshit. But at the same time, like, I don't need to drag De Gea, and Mourinho's happy. And if you think Mourinho like should have stayed longer, then I don't know.
No, let's just say I think just bringing the thread on the Ten Hag out. Like, people basically say, hey, Ten Hag, hey, this guy, he's not the guy. Get him out. You said end of the year. So if
and
United,
I stick by that.
if
when we
United's
get blown out on Sunday,
out Sunday,
you stick by it.
9th, 10th,
yes,
fallen, just
9th, 10th. We don't even know where we are. We're sixth place right now.
I'm
We're
saying,
6
like,
points off
in
top
that
4.
scenario, if you see us just falling and playing like 3-0 Bournemouth, 4-1 Villa,
I don't need to play in hypothetical situations.
I'm just saying, in that situation,
I don't see any upside in firing the manager mid-year because we've seen how that's gone. If it would be one thing if we were like playing in a realm where like, hey, let's give this a go, let's fire the manager, bring in an interim, bring in, I don't know, whoever, and see what happens. We've seen that movie before multiple times in the last 5 years. And guess what? The only time it's like kind of worked is with Ole, and we had a bounce for like 9 games, and then he fell apart, and we missed top 4. So you don't do it. And also, there's no good managers available. So it's like, just wait to the end of the season.
It's interesting.
If I may, get the expertise in. Ten Hag, you'll know by then, and then you fire him and you bring in a new one because you'll have Jean-Claude Blanc instead of fucking Richard Arnold and the other Payet brother. So like, get the smart guys in. They'll know who to hire, and they'll be able to see, right? If you can't play for a dead duck manager, that also says that maybe you shouldn't be at Manchester United. So you get rid of Ten Hag, but you also get rid of the players who aren't willing to run for the manager, because it doesn't matter who the manager is, the players should be running no matter what.
No, of course. I think that right now, as it stands, my view is it's a results-based business. And this man finished last in Europe. Okay, not a great result, but that's the result. Okay, now it's on the league. People just said it. We don't have to play extra games. Okay, top 4 it is. Top 4 has to be the goal. And if he achieves that goal, then he probably deserves some more time at Manchester United.
If he finishes in 4th place, if he comes in 4th place, we fall out of FA Cup. Do you think he deserves to stay for another year?
Depends how we finish the year.
So you could finish in 4th place and you'd still fucking boot him after the season we've started.
If we're playing this bad,
both can't be true. We can't play bad and finish in the top 4 given how tight the league is.
Yeah, no. Then assuming that we're playing good football, it looks more like the Barcelona that we saw last season. We got the players ticking. Then yes, I would agree. Of course, he deserves more time. But for me, if you start seeing us play bad and start rolling down the table, I think that's kind of when it becomes untenable. I agree he should be given to the end of the year. If anything, just to spite the bluffers in the team.
Honestly, that's half my motivation.
Half
my motivation is exposing all the
only way to spite them is to give someone like control over the long term. And if they know even at the end of the season he's going to come, it means I don't know. It could get ugly fast, and the new ownership, it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with this. It's not your call. It's not my call. I just feel like that Cat 4 might turn into a Cat 5 after Liverpool, and then we have some tough games in the remaining December. You start seeing us go down to 8 or 9.
It's not about we know we're going to lose against. It's about West Ham. It's about Villa. It's about Nottingham Forest. It's about the other 3 games in the league in December.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, dude. You lose at Anfield. He ain't the first manager to get the shit kicked out of us at Anfield. So that's not a big deal. But if you lose to Villa and you lose to West Ham, you lose to Forest, then it's what's higher than a Cat 5, bro? It's like a tsunami.
I just wish we could save this season because it's like we're in a good spot in the league. I just don't want to throw it away.
Casemiro's coming back. Martinez is coming back. Mason Mount is coming back.
Mason Mount's gonna let him know, sir. Look, that's the podcast. It's been real tough one today, but like Rock said, you got to keep getting up. United fans, keep getting up. There's the next game. Let's go. AmericaDevils.com. Check it out. Fan blog content. AmericaDevils.store. Check out our store. Also, Patreon.com/AmericaRedDevils. Sign up. Tons of benefits. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Dublin, Ireland. Chicago, Illinois. Illinois. The S is silent. You have to go back, otherwise I can't finish the
Illinois
list.
Too much
Los
noise.
Angeles, California. Brooklyn, New York. Melbourne, Australia. Dallas, Texas, Portland, Oregon, Toronto, Canada, and last but not least, Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate all the American Doubles listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. Always darkest first pitch black. Oh, what a night. We used to be a great club. We still are a great club, but the only thing that's elite at the moment is our history, sir.
The sweet doesn't taste so sweet without the bitter, baby. Let's go.